Next, we're going to work on the forms. You're going to click on the Forms tab. The first form you'll see is the best test form. Do not fill this form out. You will fill this out with your athletic trainer. Same thing with the concussion acknowledgement form. You do not need to even open these two forms. You'll fill them out later. The first form you need to fill out is the consent to treat form. You can click select and open that form. I'm going to go ahead and fill this form out and then we can talk about it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is read through this form carefully, make sure you understand everything, and then you're going to fill it out right at the bottom here. If you are under the age of 18, you will need a parent or guardian to sign and date this form as well. Again, if you're under the age of 18, your parent or guardian will need to hit save and submit. If you are over the age of 18, you can save and submit your own form, and all you're going to do is just type in your name. If you have a middle name, you would put the middle initial in there. For the purposes of this, Jon Snow does not have one. You want to acknowledge it, click submit, and then okay. So you'll notice that it says signed by, it'll have your name here of whoever signed it, and then dated with a timestamp as well. The next form is the health history form. This is a very important form, so please be detailed when filling it out. It is a longer form, so I'm going to go ahead and fill the form out and then talk about a couple things. Okay, so once you fill this form out, you need to answer yes or no for every single question. I know it's a long form, but it's really important. If you answer yes to a question, it's important that you try and specify as much as possible, at least the month and the year that an injury or something occurred if you can, and give as much information as possible. This is important, especially when we're looking through your history to see if there's anything we should flag or just have in the back of our minds as we're treating you. You'll notice on the very last page, it says only save the form, do not save and submit. You will need to go through this form with your athletic trainer during the meeting, so you will simply save this form and then you can just hit close. And you'll notice that this will not have a signature, but it will have a date on it. Then we're going to go into the medical information release. We'll open that form out. Again, you will fill this form out, so I'll do that quickly. The only couple of things to note, you have to put your name up here, and there is 2 signature spots. Make sure you read through this form well. And then if you are under the age of 18, you do need a parent or guardian to not only sign the form, but also when you save and submit, they'll have to sign their name. If you're over the age of 18, click save and submit, fill out your information, and then save and submit the form. Again, your name will appear there. If you are a new student to UNH, you do not need to fill out the RSA form. This means returning student athlete. If you were returning to your sport for the 2nd or more years, you will fill that form out. As a new incoming athlete, you will need to fill out the sickle cell form. So I'm going to do that quickly. All right, so again, you're going to want to read through this form. If you are an individual who's been tested for sickle cell trait and you know that you have it or that you don't have it, you will need to provide proof from your physician who performed the sickle cell trait test. If you've not had the test and you don't believe you have any risk of it, make sure you read through this form very carefully, and you can waive the test if you choose to, and you'll do that by simply filling out the form. If you have the test results or you're going to be getting the test, you do not need to fill this form out. You'll simply need to provide the test results instead. Again, you will save and submit the form. So the next one is the supplement form. And this form, you will fill out your name. And if you are taking any supplements or medications, you will list them down here. If you're not taking anything, you'll leave it blank. It is important that you only save this form, as you can go into this form at any time and list your medications. You must have all medications and supplements you're taking up to date within this form. If you are drug tested and something needs to be contested, it is important that it is written on this form and up to date. Anytime you change this form, you should inform your athletic trainer. So this form you will only save. If you're a new student athlete, you will need a physical within 6 months of your start date. It must be on the UNH physical form. You'll download this form. It is in a Word document, and all you'll do is bring this to your healthcare provider who'll be filling this form out. You need to make sure that it's filled out in its entirety. You will upload a picture of this back to the form. There's directions on how to do that. It's pretty easy. You must do it on this form. It cannot be on your home doctor's form. It must be on the UNH physical form that you see in front of you right now. And again, you will simply just click add to add a new form, and you can upload a picture or a scanned document of it. The last form is the insurance verification form. So I'm going to fill this out and then we can talk about this one. This is an important form to please pay attention to. All right, a couple of things for this one. If you are an international student, you will be required to get the UNH insurance, which means you would have to click yes here. If you're also a student who's going to be opting into the student insurance, you will need to click yes there as well. If you have your own insurance, click no, and then you'll want to sign there. Fill in the primary insurance. So whatever the primary insurance is, you'll fill that in, whether that's a UNH Health student benefit plan, or if it is your own personal plan through your family. If you have secondary insurance, you can put it in that column there. This top part is about the primary insurance policy holder, and this bottom part is about the insurance company. Make sure you fill it out, whether it's an HMO, PPO, standard addendum, and then your primary care physician. Make sure you check this box. It's very important. And then also make sure that the policy holder, so that's the person who the insurance is through, signs and dates there. This is extremely, extremely important. You will have to redo this form. It happens every year. Please make sure when you save and submit the form, the individual who is the policy holder will be signing the form, not the athlete. Whoever the policy holder is, that's who signs it. You will know that you've done that correctly when you look at this bottom form and you will see someone else's name there versus the student athlete. If it's wrong, we'll have to delete the form and you'll have to do it again. So that is how you correctly fill out all of your forms. You'll hit OK, and you can print any forms you need to